Hey guys, I'm back. Now you may be wondering, where exactly am I? Why do I have a different background? And most importantly, what is Friends of Sound? Well, I'm gonna answer all that stuff in this video. Hey friends, welcome to Vinylize. I am Jarrett New, and today we're gonna talk about Friends of Sound. But before we get to that, you're probably wondering where I am. Well, if you watched my last update video, you'll already know that I had to get out of Los Angeles because they were going to be doing a lot of renovation and construction on our home, and we didn't want to be around for that. So basically, we packed our bags and drove all the way to San Antonio, Texas. So essentially, I'll be staying here for a little while with relatives until all that renovation work is finished. And in the meantime, I'm gonna check out some cool new local record shops right here in my home state, and I'll be sure to bring you guys along for the ride. Now, what's with the background? Well, unfortunately, being that I had to leave all my vinyl stuff in Los Angeles, my background wasn't gonna be as interesting. So I just decided to put up this green screen and replace the background with anything I want, like this one, or this one, or even this one. Okay, so now that we're all caught up, what exactly is Friends of Sound? Well, it's a fairly new record shop right here in San Antonio that I've been following for a little while on Instagram. And being that I'm now in the same city, I figured we'd drive over there and check everything out. Okay, so here we are, and as you can see on the outside of the building, it has a big Friends of Sound logo painted on the wall, which looks pretty cool, and it lets you know that you're in the right place. Now, when I walked inside the shop, I immediately noticed two things. The first thing is that this record shop has a massive amount of 45 RPM singles, and they're all pretty well organized according to musician and genre, but being that they have so many 45s, you could be there crate digging all day and barely scratch the surface of all the cool stuff they have. So if you love vinyl singles, this is definitely the place for you. Basically, after you get through the front door, turn left and you can't miss them. Now, the other thing I noticed is that they have this really cool mural on their wall. On the left-hand side, we have Kurt Cobain, the legendary lead singer of Nirvana. In the center, we got the Friends of Sound logo. And then finally, on the right-hand side, we have Selena Quintanilla, a Tejano musician who's very well known throughout South Texas. Now, Kurt and Selena were both famous singers who tragically lost their lives while they were still in their 20s. So I thought it was really cool that Friends of Sound decided to honor both of them with that nice mural. And speaking of artwork, if you look at their back wall, you'll notice that they also stuck a ton of 45 RPM singles to it. These guys really love their 45s. Anyway, I think it really makes that wall stand out. And I also noticed that they just used thumbtacks to put them to the wall. That way they can still remove them whenever they want, and they can pop them on the turntable and play them. So that's a pretty cool thing. Now, I also noticed that the shop has two DJ stations. One at the front near the register, and the other one in the back left corner. And I think the reason they set it up that way is so that they can alternate between two different DJs, which I think is really cool. Now, in addition to all those 45s, they also have a good selection of 12-inch vinyl albums. Everything from rock, jazz, prog, psychedelic, metal, indie, punk, and a ton of other stuff. Now, speaking of the records, another thing to keep in mind is that this is mostly a used record shop. So if you're only looking to buy new vinyl, this might not be the place for you. However, if you love to crate dig and you don't really care about album covers not being in mint condition, then you're really gonna love this place. Also, even though the vinyl is used, every record I personally inspected was in very good condition. And while I was shopping, I even heard an employee named Rambo tell one of the customers that they sourced these records from all over America. And he was talking about how they recently visited New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, Montana, and Wyoming to search for the best records. So it's clear that these guys really love music. Now, another cool thing about the shop is that the staff is super friendly and down to earth, because after I brought my records to the front, one of the staff members showed me where they had their listening station set up. He then cleaned off my record and gave me a better inner sleeve free of charge. So that was really nice of him. Also, the turntable they used for their listening station was amazing. It was a Technics SL 1200 Mark II, the holy grail of turntables. And after listening to it for a little while, I can definitely see why it has such a big fan base. It really is a fantastic turntable. Alright, enough talking, let's check out the records I picked up. First of all, I got an original pressing of Black Sabbath Paranoid. I really love this album, it's been on my list for a long time, and I'm super happy that I picked it up. Next up, we got a couple of records from my dad. The first one is the Best of Peter, Paul, and Mary, and the other one is the Beach Boys' Endless Summer. This is the kind of music he listens to all the time, so I know he's really gonna like these. And finally, we got a couple of 45s. The first one is Kool and the Gang's Celebration, and the other one is James Brown, I Got You. These are both awesome and timeless songs that I wanted to add to my collection. Super cool. So overall, Friends of Sound is a great little record shop here in San Antonio. The atmosphere is laid back, the staff is friendly, and they have a great selection of vinyl, especially if you're into 45s. Now, what are your local favorite record shops? Let us all know down in the comments, and if you love music, join the Vinyl Army and hit subscribe, because I'm going to be coming out with a lot of great videos every week that you're not going to want to miss. Also, be sure to find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and more. All my social media links are in the video description down below. And most importantly, guys, have a great day and keep spinning that vinyl.